Alright, she's coming together pretty good. I got the muffler on there, mounted up the way it's supposed to be. I never realized how tight that came down past that, oil filter or fuel filter, but I guess it does. It comes down there. I'm going to change out this sensor here. That's the oil pressure sensor or sending unit there. Apparently I ordered the wrong one of these. This is my for the injection pump. It didn't bother the wires at all. I'm just going to cut that off of there. I have some new loom that I'm going to put on there because it really didn't bother that. I got to send this one back. No big deal. So I've got my fuel lines put in. I found another issue here, and if you can see right here, see that? That is the return fuel line. So when I fire this thing up, it's going to leak like a sieve, and I just won't have that. So what I got to do is got to order all the bushings, the little rubbers that go inside there. I think I only need enough to do the first three. The fourth one, the paint isn't even off of it, so I'll just do the first three, and I should be good to go on that. This here, I've already pressurized the system with that, and I didn't get any leaks coming from that return line or anything. So when I fire it up, of course the injectors are they're going to tell me yay or nay. Probably if I'd have clicked that on, it would have done it. Ran the fuel up through there, because that is a fuel shutoff no matter how much pressure you put on it. But there's no pressure in these lines, so that's why there's no fuel coming back this way. So I'll just get all the new little rubbers that go in there and redo that. And if you look, which I don't think you're going to be able to see, but up in the middle there, maybe you can, I don't know. I don't know if you can see that or not, if it's going to focus. Anyways, up in that pipe there's another pipe. And as that hot exhaust comes out, it actually creates a vacuum on the back side of this thing. Now, if you get a problem here, like hay buildup in the front of this thing, because this just sucks air from the front of the tractor, and those little particles of hay will just love to fill up in here, and then your turbocharger, your engine creates a vacuum on the intercooler side that's too great. It'll actually suck soot and exhaust gas back up through that and through your clean air, which is a really bad thing. The reason I know that is because it happened to me on one occasion. It just, all of a sudden, the tractor just goes, what the hell, and it stops. You hear, it just loses all power. And you wonder, what the hell happened here? Well, what had happened is that had plugged up, and you put this tractor under a strain, and this rubber here, this is a hell of a lot stronger than the old one, collapsed, sucked shut, cutting off airflow to the engine, and then of course it created a well, I think it was sucking before it did that, but when it became too great, it just collapsed that thing, actually broke this, and there was a new one on this tractor before it burnt. But anyhow, yeah, oh, it's green. I got on here with a spray paint. I think I said that already, but oh, and we finally did figure out what the problem here was. Apparently, John Deere in the late series tractors changed this, the 4960. They changed it to the to this style over this nut. They went to a male end from a female end. So yeah, so everything seems to be coming along pretty good. It looks good. I've got this clamped down nice and tight, and this up here, there's a heat shield that goes over the top of the muffler to protect the hood, and that lays on the floor over here. So I'm going to go ahead and knock off the here it is, that guy right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up on there. I think there's a couple of things that need to go on there. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out right about now, though. So stay tuned. Okay, so it's been an extraordinarily busy day today on this tractor. I'm going to show you this side of the machine. Everything's done. Injector lines are in. The only thing I have to do is when I get home tonight, I have to get some parts for this. I have to order those, which are no big deal. I have to order a sensor for the other side, but I've gotten these hoses on here. These lines, they're on, the ones that go back. This one is okay, never got damaged. This one here came with the cab. You see this one here that's kind of screwed up, but that came with the cab, so I'm not really concerned with that one. I'm just going to use the one that came on the cab. This is the four-wheel drive one that was broke. This one here that's missing, that came with the cab. But I wanted to talk about this hose here. This is a hose that comes off the breather. Okay, this is your overflow. Now, John Deere takes compressed air from the turbocharged, from the intercooler, and it pumps it around the corner. I gotta change this. This line here is actually a fuel return line I'm gonna replace. And it goes into the top here. This is like a pressure cooker. That's the only way I could explain that. I'm not sure, but it's on the, I'm not sure of the proper name for it, but it's like a pressure cooker. Let me change my lighting here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's hot. Anyways, right there. Oh shit, now I can't. Right there where that wire, that kind of sealed up wire thing is, that is like a pressure cooker. What that does is it takes the pressure off the engine and it regulates, well, it's a pressure regulator, and it regulates a flow of cool air down through that injection pump and across into into the crankcase. So there's always air flowing through this thing. It's I don't know what the hell the proper term for it is, what they call it, but it's just a charge of cool compressed air to go through the engine block to actually help cool that engine. And that brings me to this hose. Now, let me get this thing back up there. This hose, there went my light. Son of a bitch, I can't believe it didn't blow. Oh, there it went. Oh no, it didn't. Can you believe that? Wow, I can't believe that light didn't blow. That's one of them halogen things that get like 40,000 degrees. Come on. What the hell are we caught on? Thing sat up there all day and didn't have a problem. Anyway, alright, years and years ago, a little bit of a one lonely farmer story. Years ago, I had a 4020. And of course John Deere had that too, only those were naturally aspirated tractors. And at the back of the engine there was a pump, and that would just pump air from your clean air and pump it into the crankcase. So they always looked like they had a lot of blow-by, when in reality they didn't. They had no blow-by. They were just the air that they were pumping through there. So anyways, that 4020 would just, you'd be going down the road and you'd put it under a load, and you know, if you're pulling a wagon load of hay or something, and all of a sudden the thing would just run away. It would go 25, 30 mile an hour, and there was nothing you could do to stop it. So we thought it was injection pump. Pull the injector pump off and send it away, bring it back, same damn thing. Well, here, it was this hose. I am not sure whether mud daubers had gotten up in there, and if you don't know what mud daubers are, they're little wasps, but and in the bottom here they plugged the breather hole up, and what that was doing was building a pressure in the engine and forcing engine oil down around the valves, causing the engine to run away, out of control. I mean, it was a stall it out. You could throw the lever up and you're moving. So it did that like 3 times before I sent the injector pump out, because you just couldn't figure it out. And it looked like it was blowing. There was always a vapor coming out of there, but it wasn't a strong vapor like it should have been. So anyways, if you ever have a tractor that runs away like that, definitely check this breather pipe. So anyways, I just put a new hose on there, and I figured that would be worthwhile to mention. What I got to do now is actually just tap that down on that so that it locks in place so it doesn't fall out. Okay, so now that I've got that where it belongs, it will stay there. I don't like the way they've got it positioned in there because it rubs, but yeah. So anyway, I got a few more pieces of this tractor. They're going to have to be bought. little gaskets and lines and things like that. This here happened when I took the cab off. I don't know why, but it didn't do any damage to the... I did replace the O-rings here and here. There's actually two, an innie and an outie on that one, and one on that one, and it seems to fit pretty good, but we'll find out if it leaks. Maybe I'll just order that line tomorrow. So yeah, so tomorrow I guess I'm gonna be sandblasting. I got a lot of little bits and pieces, just tin work and stuff that needs to be sandblasted, and I'll be waiting for parts. And then when I get that done, I'm going to paint them up, because this tractor, believe it or not, is really about 99% ready to receive that cab, which is sitting right here. I'm not going to put the wiring harnesses on until the cab is mounted. So yeah. So I guess tomorrow there's going to be a cab put on it. Kind of amazing. The other thing is, before I forget, the other thing is, and I can't start it. I can't start it till I get batteries, but I can't start it until, well, I guess I can, but I can't get my radiator on there. The radiator is, I can't put it in there until I get these lines. Well, apparently, the lines that I got are for a later John Deere 4960. These are 4955 air lines, or air conditioning lines. So I'm a little disappointed, but tomorrow I'll have the new lines because they're going to overnight them to me. So tomorrow I'm going to have the new lines. I'm going to get the radiator. The radiator does not need to be pressure checked. That actually is not an old radiator. I put that in probably 3 years before this tractor burned, so I'm not even concerned with that because we never really got any heat on that radiator. Now the oil cooler, on the other hand, you'd know if that had a hole in it. That never saw any heat, so I'm not really worried about any of this stuff. Yeah. Ooh, there goes my light again. Can you believe that? Twice now, and it didn't even break. That thing sat up there all day, and I started messing with it. But anyway, yeah. Still got some parts over there, but for the most part, these little oil lines and stuff here, they are not mine. Whether they subbed over to something that I didn't have, or you know, it's not on. These lines don't do me any good. That line there is on the cab, but I think I'm going to change it after I get the cab on. This here is just some wiring harnesses, the ether injection line, which I could do now. Yeah, maybe I'll do that now. There's just a couple of little things. Oh, the intercooler hoses, which I'm going to put on there right now. But yeah, so anyways, the cab is coming. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess we're pretty much ready to rock and roll now. There's a few things that need to be done, but for the most part, we're good to go. We're golden. Anyway, thanks for watching.